Welcome to Common Hood. This your host, Simon P. I got my man, Chris Matthews, known as Christopher Matthews, excuse me.
That's right.
He's a student from the prestigious HBCU FAMU Rattlers.
That's right, two-time alumni.
Two times alumni. Just recently graduated with a Bachelor of Science in Political Science and a Master's in International Affairs
Yes, sir,
and
yes, sir.
Global Security. This brother gonna be fixing up some things out here, huh?
Yes, sir, yes, sir. Yeah.
I'm just so impressed because he had this book here.
That's right.
First author. Great book for any elementary age children, probably up to 18 or higher.
Or churches, you know.
Right.
And other
Churches,
youth programs.
schools, charter schools,
Yes,
youth
sir.
programs.
Yes, sir.
There's a lot of particular things you make this for.
Yes, sir.
Independent author at that.
Yes, yep.
I like this book. I bought it, two of them for my grandchildren because they had a collection of powerful illustrations that displayed culture, kind of celebrate history, and give some purpose.
That's right.
Right off the gate, man, what inspired you to write this book?
So what inspired me to write the book, just taking a look at the mindsets of the youth, seeing where we are as a people and how we don't have really positive examples from an early age. A lot of us are going into youth programs or football, basketball, things of that nature, and we start idolizing these big name figures at a young age. We don't really have time to look at the heroes within our culture and those who have done courageous acts. So I wanted to put that into this book and make sure that we understand our history and that that there's something else out there in life rather than entertainment, sports, and all the things that we get to nowadays.
Well, the images I saw with the NASA, the space science, and the black family together, all doing the yard in there, and some of the relationships with the Africa and here, I thought it was very powerful, and the images of positivity was there as well.
Yes, sir.
So, Chris, just tell us now, who is Christopher Matthews, and what do you really represent?
So I'm Christopher Matthews, a two-time alumni of Florida A&M University.
That is strike.
Strike again.
Okay, then.
Yep. So two-time alumni of FAMU. Started a organization while at FAMU, a student organization.
You started it.
I started it.
What's the name of that
It's
organization?
called Helping Black Communities Unite Incorporated, or just HBCU Inc. for short. We operate at most of the HBCUs here in America, basically reforming black youth and cooperating with the school to set up sustainable programs such as the community garden we have at FAMU DRS, or mentoring programs within if the FAMU has a mentoring program with their K through 12. Howard has one with their middle school. So making sure that we're not only just at the HBCUs, but we're building on the HBCUs and building on that foundation that was set for us.
So you're starting to expand this program outside of communities close by the HBCUs. It's kind of like putting a program together that can be multiplied throughout beyond the stretch of the HBCU location.
Yes,
Is
sir.
that what we're saying?
Yes, sir.
That's great. That's right. Well, growing up, who was your role model of influence that influenced your decision to attend the historically black HBCU FAMU University?
So I am a second generation Rattler. So I had both my mother and my father attend FAMU, and my father is my role model.
Kudos to Big Dad.
Kudos.
Kudos.
Being able to have a man, in my life, and being able to see him love my mom and raise the family and protect our family, that's a good example. And I can always say somebody else in the world, like a celebrity or something like that. But
that's such a rare example.
Yeah.
With the mixed families.
Yep.
And the single mom syndrome that's out there now. I was able to be blessed to be raised by my father.
Yes, sir.
And he truly was my first and only hero.
That's right.
That in his days of transitioning to heaven, I used to tell my father, "You my Jesus."
Oh, man.
I know who sacrificed and walked on earth with me and gave the very best that he could.
Yes, sir.
And it sounds like you have that same feeling.
Yes, sir.
And as people of color, we definitely have to get that back and learn, because we used to be dispersed based off some of the things of history. So to have that is very, very, very instrumental to your success.
Yes, sir. And I would add to that, like you just said, I wouldn't really understand who Jesus was or what that would look like if I didn't see a man who was following Jesus and actually believed in that. So having my father believe in that and, you know, being raised with that environment gives you those principles, that foundation.
Yeah, you was raised by a king and a queen.
That's right. Yes, sir.
And the king led, and the queen is like on the chessboard. She go out there and make sure the king go all right. Everybody protect the king.
That's right.
So I met your father, man. He good peeps.
Yep.
He good peeps all day. You know, your undergrad was an Bachelor of Science and Masters in International Affairs and Global Security. Can you kind of guide us? Like, what would you tell a young, inspiring child getting ready to enter the FAMU strike zone in a fog? I don't know what to do. What inspired you to say, I'm going to go this route? What's the opportunities available?
Well, I came out during a time where it was major political unrest. You had the Donald Trump situation. I came out in 2021. That's when I entered high school and came to FAMU. So it was just a lot going on in the country.
You did a lot in 4 years, man. You graduated in 4 years with a bachelor's?
With the master's.
And a master's.
Sir. Yes, sir. And so yeah, when I got out of high school, I was a computer science major, actually. And that's what I would encourage a lot of the youth to go into, computer science, AI. I still have that love for technology, but during that time, I seen that it was more, it was necessary to see faces like mine, hear voices like mine, and that we needed to advance ourselves in a political manner, talking about what we talked about before, political action committees and things of that nature, having, you know, more involvement on a local level, which actually affects the cities, the communities that you live and reside. Water is affected by the local government, fire, police, all that's controlled by your local government. So a lot of people don't really know that. You know,
often we're told that our local politics are more important than the federal politics.
That's very true.
You just elaborated on some, but you mentioned the Political Action Committee PAC. How instrumental that you think establishing Political Action Committee PACs would be in neighborhoods that are underserved?
Well, I think they're very, very important. We're in a situation right now where most of us don't even know what a political action committee is.
I didn't learn it 2 years ago.
So it's like, so you have to really break that down. What is a political action committee? Political action committee is most of the time it's a business being ran, and they're funding campaigns or they're funding hate ads on a bare minimum, bare information level. They're either funding campaigns or they're funding hate ads against their opposition. And that's very important, or they're also making policy. They're sitting in rooms behind closed doors and coming up with different policy changes they want to happen, whether it be an amendment to a bill or whether it be creating a new bill. They have that effect on politics.
That answered it all right there, man.
Yeah, but
your degree allowing you to get a seat at the table.
You're right. You're right. But also, I'd say with our community specifically, we're not really writing bills. We're not creating bills, and we're not, you know, even like we'll see a bill come out. What's a recent bill that came out? Maybe like an Asian hate crime bill. We see these bills come out, but the Asian hate crime bill is just a after effect of what the Asians have done in their political action committees behind closed doors. So that's just a culmination of all their work they've done behind closed doors.
If you don't mind me interjecting, when they came out with the bill, I was like, why the hell black people don't have a hate bill?
Exactly.
And you're saying that they had a committee formed to help push this.
That's right.
So you mentioned that these PACs, political action committees, take money. And typically blacks as a whole, as a group, always seem to be submerged underneath the other ethnic groups when it comes to wealth disparity, right? So what that look like for us to establish that? How powerful is it, the money or the voice?
The money. The voice does mean something. They say truth will set us free, you know, so that does play a factor into it, but you need money to finance that voice. And we have black political action committees. There's one called Black PAC. I know that you have Color of Change political action committees. So you have political action committees that are already operating in our best interest, but we just don't know about it, so we don't support them, we don't fund them. So that's why you probably don't see them make a much effect. I know the Congressional Black Caucus works in the same manner as well, but if we're not putting pressure on those entities, they're not going to work in our best interest. So.
It got scary during the recent when Cornel West, it's how I felt, when Cornel West wanted to run for president and get his name on the ticket, I heard a lot of people say, oh, Cornel ain't serious, they're not gonna take him serious.
Yeah.
But me as a person of color, I kind of feel like if he could have chose to maybe the right campaign partner, whether it was, and nothing against Kamala.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, what if he would have got RZA from the Nation of Islam? Well, that would have got all those males that they say black males went over to Trump, and how they would have felt if he would have said, we got Cornel, which is very intellectual.
Yeah.
Then you got RZA that gonna care for the community, coming from the Nation of Islam. And I thought about what would that look like with bringing everybody in the center.
Honestly, it'd be cool. That's like a dream scenario.
The dream scenario. That was my dream scenario.
But again, I think you would run back into that same problem with our community supporting them and getting behind them, especially when you're running independently and not running within a Democrat or Republican setting. It's almost like it's been embedded into this country that we're going to continue this Republican system. So I honestly don't see anybody winning outside of that. Just to be honest with you.
Well, that's what makes us say, what you say to those that say, I don't vote, man, the game rigged. That's how a lot of us feel, like the game is rigged. I get what you're saying, and it's this Democrat, it's Republican, and they say it's a democracy where we try to balance the laws and have it.
Yeah.
But like with the current president now, he's really flexing what I call his muscles.
Yeah.
Like President Trump's make you say, if you didn't know what power is now, Trump is coming in and challenging power to the it's like he's taking it to the door.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna go to the end, to the Supreme Court gotta tell me what I can and can't do.
Yeah. I would go back to say, like you said, it is kind of rigged. I mean, that's just American politics, especially with the introduction of political action committees back in 2010, when that Citizens versus United, I believe, and when that got introduced, I mean, politics took a whole nother route with the bureaucracy and the funding of these politicians back in behind the scenes. So I wouldn't, I'm not a advocate where I say I'm completely not going to vote, we're not going to get involved, and it's completely rigged.
We still encourage voting.
We still encourage voting and get involved, because you have to know, your local, because on those ballots, it's not just president, it's not just senator, or representative. That's your county commissioners as well. So I can't just tell you, okay, don't vote, because, you have to vote for your county commissioners. You have to vote for your senators.
I think we have to vote.
Yeah.
And if I can do something to support a politician, one thing I hate is going to the booth and all this technical writing. And my friend Hansel, he pointed out one time before that they hire some of the most skilled people to write those laws that they already know 50% going to go here or there, and that's how some get passed. So if I can do my part, I think from my experience, and I was just voting, not just off emotions or what I thought was right.
That's most people.
What I thought was right for the totality.
Yes, sir.
Not individual, because it's like, I'm little old me, I'm a peanut in a vast majority of sea of people that all fighting to have basic needs met for their lives.
Yes, sir.
So for me, I always say, I would like to support a politician that when the laws come out and introduced, how to get this education message out so people could be much more informed. That's the thing I have with the political process.
I don't want to be a Debbie Downer.
Yeah.
But I think we're doing a great job. Like being in those circles, for how long I've been in those circles, I think we've always done a great job when it's come to educating our community and getting out the right to vote, canvassing, going door for door. We say we need to do that more. We say every year we need to do that more. But honestly, I think we're doing it enough.
I got to push back on you on that one, Chris.
Let me finish my point real quick. I say that because the right people who want to learn are going to be the ones there. You really can't do nothing about people who just genuinely don't want to get involved with the political process. And if you, like you saying, year after year, vote, 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 they're hearing your message. Their doors are getting knocked down as well. But like you said, it goes back to them feeling like it's rigged. And logically, how do you break down to somebody this is not rigged?
I think in the underserved communities,
Yeah.
I think they feel like they only talk to when it's time to get a vote. And the vote ends up equally giving that person the choice over the masses.
Yeah.
Just like the president and the Congress, they make the votes for all of us. Like we pick them to say, we want you to pick what's best for our lives.
Yeah.
And even at the local level, I think most feel like you see this person when it's time to get a vote.
That's right.
So I know that the individuals, I don't want to place too much. Like doing my part is just like you say, I can do better by connecting to those sources,
Yeah.
and I can learn about the law, and I can go back
And do it for yourself.
and do my grass work,
Yes, sir.
which would be more important than the leader. The leader can't do every
Everything.
single thing.
Exactly.
And I have realized that over time that that's my fault for being a little uninformed. But you know, like I say, we have to just do a better job collectively.
Yep.
You know, going to the next question, like your experience with FAMU and taking those two degrees that you studied, how did it help shape your leadership to empower your culture and influence the underserved communities by picking those two degrees?
So FAMU's definitely played a big role in my journey and my development. Being able to come in as a freshman, seeing that was my first time being exposed to like student government and all of that type of environment. Fortunately, we had a mayor election the next year, and I had so many connections on campus that it was like the mayor just wanted me to be involved with his campaign. So I did a mayoral campaign at my second year in college.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which really exploded.
How was that?
It was pretty interesting. It exposed me to what the real world looks like in political campaigns. Like I said, I was in second year in college. I was a sophomore. I was the only person in college on his campaign.
Wow.
Yeah, so being in that campaign, it was like, okay, it was eye-opening. It was something like I'm not really putting my opinion too much. I'm gonna do my work, which we ended up winning. He was down when he hired me. We were losing, and then he hired me. We won. But yeah. But going through that situation, it was like, okay, I don't know. I'm just be real with you. I just realized that can't really make too much change, in politics, especially for people who look like us. I don't want to say it's kind of like a facade, but that's what it felt like. That's my vibe, and that's what I felt when I did it my sophomore year in college. And then from there, I got more involved with the local community grassroots and being able to feed the community, grow food in our community garden and give it out to the community, or participate in the mentoring program that we've created with FAMU DRS.
Right.
So that those experiences taught me leadership. That taught me how to organize our people, or organize people who are around our age to get involved in these small projects that actually mean something. Because when you're going to mentor that kid, it may feel small in the moment, but when you're a kid, you remember all those adults or those cool kids who come and want to hang out with you and talk to you and be your friend. And with our mentoring program, we came every week. So
Really?
Yeah, so we came every Wednesday. So it was like a very with the same classroom. So it was very personable, and making that lasting impression with these students that they can see somebody who's a young man or a young woman, but a righteous example. And that's what we're trying to do, push out more righteous examples. Not just any example. You're educated, you're politically educated, yes, but are you also a righteous example of the kingdom? Or of are you really following, or practicing what you preach?
Being a light.
Yeah.
One thing consistently about HBCUs, for whatever reasons, they always say, you're going to learn more if you go to a HBCU compared to going to your predominantly white institutions, which is nothing wrong. I'm a Florida Gator fan here over, we in Gainesville, so I've been a Gator fan, but my daughter went there, so when she went to FAM, I was like, remember when I used to go to FAM to party, but when the education came up, I was like, boy, they got y'all prepared over there.
Yep.
And I think her mom and me both agree that I think FAMU might have had a little more prepared than the routes we chose. Something like corporate America really respect HBCUs.
If you look at the statistics,
they're putting out,
if you look at the statistics, we are like the biggest producers of doctors, lawyers, and all those big,
Really?
big
big box colleges.
big box positions and stuff like that. So HBCUs are very important. And I say HBCUs are crucial to our survival in America. And they will always be crucial to our survival in America going forward.
That leads us to our next question, man. What's going on in the HBCUs in America?
So yeah, HBCUs, man. So the culture, HBCU culture, we're known for, we're known for, our academics, of course, but we're also known for our partying side and the fraternity side of things. And we're getting to a point now where you have, be straight up, you have so much debauchery going on, on campus or, in the higher up levels with elitism and all that, and we're at a point right now where we're not making any progress, with our HBCUs. It's almost like they look the exact same, or they had the exact same programs that they had 50 years ago going on today. So we need to see more AI in HBCUs,
more AI,
more robotics in HBCUs, and we need to shift that culture from degeneracy to righteousness. And that's what we're focusing on right now with HBCU Inc.
Do you think it may be the lack of funding that goes to the HBCUs that causes that?
That is definitely a big part of it, especially FAMU being a land grant university. We are supposed to receive a whole bunch of money from Florida, but we just don't get it due to discrimination and things like that.
But Shaquille O'Neal, when Ed Reed was going to be a coach at BCC, which is y'all arch rival Bethune-Cookman, you had a couple $1 million, but when he got terminated for whatever reasons, we looking for that.
Yeah.
So to all our, I always wonder, like, what would happen if the very rich that look like us would take an emphasis in one HBCU at a time?
That's right. And not only that, what if they just show up to HBCU? Imagine if Beyonce came to FAMU or came to Howard, or if Jay-Z came to FAMU or Howard, or Dave Chappelle or anybody these big celebrities came and visited our school. That would go a long way. Oh man, I can imagine, because it's not that they're entertaining. Yeah. It's not that y'all come in there looking for a concert. It'd be nice if they dropped the hook. But the transition on sharing what business is looking for, like they're in the music industry, what that look like in the background for a HBCU to study. It's like you should be hiring some of these greater minds. That's right.
And making that your initial phase. That's one of the reasons why I like LeBron.
Yeah.
LeBron kind of sent his crew to college and put him in the positions that he needed, and kind of, gave everybody an opportunity to be raised up,
And so I can give LeBron his props to that degree. He has funded FAMU. His logo is on our shirts. And
really?
Yeah, on our basketball shirts, and his shoes are what the basketball players wear. So he has stepped in that route. But I mean, if LeBron James came to FAMU for a basketball game, imagine that would change the entire culture of FAMU basketball. Like just his presence being there would change a lot. So
when I look at University of Florida, Miami Hurricanes, I'm just staying in Florida. Then Florida State next door.
Yes, sir.
Like when Primetime was a coach there in that smaller college up there, which is HBCU. When I look at the football teams and the basketball teams, and it's like, I wonder how much change we can make if we say for 5 years.
That's right.
Can you show that we can compete if we had the same talent and get the same TV contracts in order to help the school?
Honestly, and I don't want to again be a Debbie Downer, but I think we had that opportunity when Deion was at Jackson State University.
Absolutely.
I think him leaving, we don't really talk about it. We just let it slide. But him leaving was a big blow to HBCUs.
Oh yeah,
we
definitely.
Went from
you haven't even heard about JSU since.
Exactly, and FAMU has a classic with Jackson State University down in Miami every year. That was biggest thing you could talk about. Oh my gosh, Deion Sanders versus FAMU. That's like so that, and then it was Ed Reed or.
Eddie George, I believe. And now you have Michael Vick.
Yeah.
What's the receiver? That's another receiver.
Deshaun
Jackson. They're there. I don't think they've been a magnet as Prime Time.
Yeah.
And I'm sure Prime Time try to coach them through it, but they both took programs that are below the ground.
Yeah.
So I don't expect it, but you don't hear the resources coming as fast to those programs. But if it changes, I just be wondering how much of the athletic budget filters over to the academia.
Yeah.
So when you look at, I don't know the quarterback here. They saying he's getting $5 million annually.
By saying most of especially the college program, sports programs, most of those sports programs fund the school. So I know FAMU's football team is like one of the biggest funders of the actual university.
Absolutely.
So I know when Jackson State University had Deion Sanders, and he was bringing Michael Irvin and all this Quavo, all the celebrities coming into the side,
selling out the stadiums.
Selling out the stadiums every time you play.
Yes.
That is a big. I know he wasn't getting paid, and that's probably the criticism. He felt like he wasn't getting paid enough and stuff like that.
Well, he thought I think JSU didn't do it right. When I say do it right, once you bring all of that attention there, you have to make a conscious effort. Hey, he's selling out. We got to pay the draw.
Yeah.
He's the draw right now. And, he was kind of immersed in that university.
Yeah. But at the same time, it goes back to what the JSU coach, I believe, said last year. JSU football didn't start with Deion Sanders. And the biggest, it's hard to say.
JSU publicity to the nation started with Deion Sanders.
That's true, but we always have this idea, especially within our culture, that one man is the program.
One man is not the program. One man is not the program.
But when you have that situation where one man became the program, and now he's gone, all the funding and resources gone, all the TV spotlight gone, and he really didn't set any. He believed he took his coaches as well. He took his son Shador at the time, who was, now we know Shador on the Cleveland Browns, and he took his son from there, and took both his sons and the whole coaching staff with him.
Right.
So I mean, it's just like.
In that particular case, one man was the program,
Yeah.
but the communication gap
Yep.
was not there for it to stick. Which brings me to communities, and I want to share. You shared a documentary called "The Village of Peace."
That's right.
I was able to watch it on Prime, but I saw communities. You're going to be serving a community. Village of Peace is about building a community.
That's right.
And I just have to read what I saw when the community finished compared to it is.
Yes, sir.
And it was interesting. It was very interesting because it was talking about individuals that went through the civil rights drama.
That's right.
From back in the day that decided to leave. And when they left, they got awarded some land in Liberia, which I believe is in Eastern Africa, and everybody think is in Pakistan or Israel, however that go. But I saw a community building. So when I'm looking at your community work with the children, writing this purposeful book.
That's right.
It reminded me like, wow, is that heaven?
It almost looked like it, don't it?
It almost looked like it.
Yeah,
So
that's what we call it. We call it the kingdom.
It's the kingdom of heaven. I kind of left that because it's like they taught dietary, they encouraged exercise.
That's right.
Marriage was understood. The covenants, following the religion, the education that we're giving each other.
That's right.
But at the end of it, once you get through how they was living and how they rebuilt, here's a bunch of no's. I'm just going to read them out.
Okay.
It said no racism.
That's right.
No gangs.
Nope.
No gang warfare. No blood versus the Crips.
No.
No, I own this block, I own this set.
Nope.
No ghetto mentality. It said
right.
a ghetto mentality.
That's
That's a topic in itself.
People don't want to hear that.
Breaking down the ghetto mentality.
That's right.
It said guns.
No.
There was no drugs. No drug dealers.
Yep.
No prostitution.
That's right.
No homelessness. No domestic abuse. No alarm systems.
No alarm systems.
No burglary. No smoking. No alcohol. And no abuse.
So you set the bar high. It's hard to get into that to that bar. I know a lot of my people be like, oh man, 2 no's ago you just felt I don't even want to go there.
It was one of those things you referred me to, Christopher, where I was like, I got a little emotional when I watched it.
Yeah.
And I said, we are so far off.
That's right.
And I commend you that if your goal and your vision is to build small villages of pieces throughout America, Donald Trump got to hire you right now. That's what's gonna make America great again.
That's right. Yeah.
Is somebody with that vision to help go in. So it sounds like instead of sending the National Guard, thinking that's gonna be the work.
That's
and,
right.
and I get it. I get it. When you got gang warfare, you got this and that. It's part of me saying, hey, they say Chicago, you got to be careful.
You're right. But you're right.
But you're right.
Yeah.
So it's just like, okay, well.
In Los Angeles, you got to make sure you wear the right colors.
You got them right. You know, I can't wear red or blue, or you still get challenged. So it's just like, part of me understanding Trump now is it a little too extreme, because I'd be like, hey, the police officer is like coming at you the same way.
That's true.
With a military presence.
Yeah.
So when I saw that video, man, that you referred me to, I was like, how do we get to teaching? Like, where to start at?
So I say it starts with our organization. It starts with HBCU Inc. It starts with people who are on the grounds, boots on the ground, trying to actually reform our people. There's other organizations out there I'm not going to mention, but there's other organizations who are righteous examples as well. But it starts with that. That's the bare minimum. Us trying to be the change ourselves. You wanting to change yourself.
I like that.
And that's where it starts at. That's the bare minimum. Then you get into this realm where it's like you're building a community. So whether it's you all coming together, your crew, your tribe, or whatever you want to call it, you coming together and buying out a community, you all renting homes in the community and starting from there, or straight up building your own community.
Hey, that's exactly what they did.
Because that's what they did from scratch. With no government funding.
Yes,
and they have their own school, they have their own factories, and they have their own businesses that support the community.
Right.
So that's what it takes.
One at a time. When they entered that community, they built one house. Everybody stayed there. They worked on the next one.
That's what it takes.
And they worked on the next one. And, it's like there was no racial segregation. There was no exclusion feeling. It's like they left America. And not that America's a bad country. It can't be that bad when it's the richest. But however, when I read all these no's, I'm like, how the richest country in the world would have racism, gangs, gang warfare, ghetto mentality, guns everywhere, drugs everywhere, drug dealers everywhere, prostitution, homeless, domestic abuse, alarm systems. Everybody feel like they got that. It's like, what is going on? Like, why we can't get it right?
But at the same time, you understand we're in America where there's this 24/7 propaganda war against us. Whether it be the music that we're listening to, whether it be the reality TV shows we're watching, or the food that we're consuming. So when you have those three combined, and you really don't have any voices speaking up about this. I mean, obviously you have one or two scattered voices within our community, but in terms of actually saying, hey, we're gonna eat vegan. Hey, we're gonna live righteously. We're gonna do what's right. Hey, we're gonna build our own community, be self-sufficient. I'm not gonna support that business. I'm gonna go to my own business, I know their business, so I'm gonna support them. Even if their business may not be where I want it to be, they messed up on my chicken, or they messed up with their service may be bad. I'm gonna go back to that business and I'm gonna correct them, or I'm gonna say, hey, can you guys make sure you do this a little better? Can you add this food item?
Right.
It's working with each other and having love for self. That's what it all comes back to. Once you love yourself, you can love others.
Right.
And so once we have that community mindset of, okay, and it's like, okay, I hate to leave off this conversation with, okay, we need to change ourselves, because you hear that very often. But it's about, they say the kingdom of God is within you. It's about pulling that kingdom out of you so that your surroundings reflect that kingdom. And that's what the Village of Peace shows us.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what following the Messiah and other figures that we follow in our community.
Well, when they say love, changing within, changing your mindset and believing, but the community requires unity.
That's right.
Community requires unity. And that documentary definitely showed unity that I was like, I don't think it's been like that since civil rights before.
You're right.
At least with us. So I'm like, wow, that's something wrong. And when I say love, and another thing I left with, how it said they had love for people, our planet, the fowls of the heaven, the fishes of the sea, the ozone in the air. It was just love distributed through that community.
And I want to show you on the last page of the book, we have the Village of Peace in here,
Right.
which shows, this is where we're going. This is the future. We can build communities like this. So having that connection with them, I think is very, very important. And not only just, talking about them, but maybe going visit. I mean, you can go over there and visit the community. You can see what they're living like. You can actually be around that community, be around that love. And it's easier to take something back when you've seen it.
I heard one thing in the middle of the documentary when there was a plane and there was some didn't want to put in the work and flew back home to America.
That's right.
So that element of work, I don't want to leave out that 4-letter word. This is
right.
positive. This not the F bomb. This not the damn bomb. This not the bomb.
Yep.
They put in work to do that, along with a collective effort of unity that was it just made me kind of tear up, because over here in America, it's just like we kind of scattered right now.
That's right.
We got to scatter. So your work, what you're doing right now, is very important. And before you leave, just tell us again how to contact that HBCU Inc. And if anybody want to try to help, how can we support a great mission that you guys are trying to do? And just leave once again a recommendation on how can we help our politicians on the grassroots level.
So Helping Black Communities Unite Incorporated is a nonpartisan nonprofit. We push self-empowerment to manifest a better quality of living in our communities. So you can find us at HBCU Inc. on Instagram. We have a shop in our bio where you can buy all of these products that we have, the shirt, the book, hats, and all those goodies. Or you can also visit our website, hbcuinc.com, hbcuinc.org, I believe. And that's where we sell all of all of our products independently. And also, you talked about how can we support our politicians on a grassroots level. It starts off by getting involved. Going out, finding your local grassroots organization. There's one in almost every community.
There is.
So it's going out, getting involved with them, or if you don't like what they're doing, start your own. Take their blueprint and create your own organization. Pool your resources, pull your friends together, and get involved. That's all it takes.
Just get involved.
Yeah.
And my lazy butt was getting, when the political season come, I try to find out what it is. But that's most of us, though.
Yeah. You're right.
That's most of us. We do that if we had to keep it real and 100% authentic.
Wait till last minute.
That we wait till the last minute. Yeah. So if the media is it costs, and the big box people come out with spending their money, control the advertisement, and that's one scary feeling. I think only 6 people now control 92% of the media information that we're receiving now.
That's right.
So that means your work, us supporting your work,
that's right,
your mission, and other organizations similar, at this point in time, is probably more important than ever. With this much control going into the narrative of 6 owners that's controlling 92% of the mass media that we're receiving.
And we're also seeing a blackout in Black history. A lot of Black history is not getting taught, especially our heroes, the ones we really care about, not the ones the media just puts in our face. But, and that's what HBCU also does. We educate Black youth on their heroes and on the past. And actually put out content, videos, shorts, TikToks, and actual speeches where you can hear these people, not just the everyday Martin Luther King, maybe Malcolm X or somebody like that, but we're going deep into our culture, deep into our heroes, and documenting our history until another level that shows that we're almost at the kingdom.
When DEI came out, I was kind of like, what an opportunity for Blacks.
That's right.
Like, what an opportunity. Thank God for YouTube. Thank God for fan base. Thank God for Instagram. Thank God for all those things, because most of the stuff that I learned about Black history did not come from school.
That's right.
And when it did come, I used to be like, watch your mouth now. Watch your mouth over there now.
Yep. You're right.
Because they only mentioned the slavery.
Yep.
They only mentioned the civil rights.
That's right.
And they only mentioned Martin Luther King. There was no mentioning of a plethora of things.
That's right.
Of Black contribution and black intelligence and black excellence that happen in this country and abroad.
And I'll take it a step further and put more pressure on the HBCUs. We need to be educating our people on this black history, because a lot of HBCUs have that problem. And I know we talked about this over the phone, going into FAMU's bookstore. I know we have our library, and our library has those books for students. But going into FAMU's bookstore and not being able to see any of those prominent books that we talk about, Black Economics, Blueprint for Black Power, all the Dr. Claude Anderson books, who Dr. Claude Anderson.
I love Claude. I got all 5 of his books.
And he's from Florida.
Powernomics.
He's from Florida. So it's like we should have his books in there, but
he fought. I think he's still living.
He is.
Yeah, he's gotten a little older now.
Yeah.
But once again, like you take an Oprah Winfrey or Jay-Z or whatever the case. When I walked into the FAMU's bookstore, it was a little appalling because they let you know that somebody else owned the store.
That's right.
And dictates to FAMU what goes in the store.
Barnes & Noble owns the store.
See, that shouldn't be.
Yeah.
That should be an immediate negotiation of this what we will have in these particular stores. Yeah. And it should be part of our curriculum that when we take history, like if you can't even have say-so at your HBCU, historically black college, it's just like always remember how we got to be a HBCU. That was racial segregation. That was an exclusion from the traditional power of the PWI private white institution.
But you also have to remember, a lot of our HBCUs are land grant universities.
Correct.
So that means FAMU was established by the state of Florida. So that means FAMU reports directly to the governor's board, and the governor board reports directly to the governor.
So actually it's better to be private.
It's definitely better to be private, and that's probably Howard has more control over their school as their private university.
Isn't Bethune-Cookman private as well?
Bethune-Cookman is private as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, those that have that moolah, that mint, that money, that green, support your HBCUs.
That's right.
Hey, this is Simon P. I'm about to ready to sign out. Christopher, again, thank you so much for joining us, and I hope I can see you again as you climb this ladder of changing the world. This is Simon P. with Common Hood. Like, subscribe, and share. I'm out.
Keep it Messiah.